Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol, Gaur.
Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Govinda
Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Nabneyi Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Nabneyi Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Horrible namaste. Okay, stay put na. So we can start. So yesterday we stopped where the deliverance of Paundraka and the king of Kasi. They were all killed by Lord Krishna because they tried to contest Lord Krishna's supremacy. And Lord Shri Krishna came to this world 5,000 years ago to establish religion and to show to everyone the potency of the Supreme Person and how he protects his devotees. Okay. Establish religion. And what is religion all about? It's not the faith that you have joined or the upbringing that you were exposed to, but rather what is inherent in all of you. It is what is natural for everyone to engage in service. Just like you cannot take away wetness from water and heat from fire. So the living entity by nature, you will always be serving and loving. This love is inseparable from the living entity. So the question is, how come we tend to be trying to imitate Lord Krishna? So that's the topic we'll be discussing today. So we can have clarity of our true transcendental situation. So the Supreme Person is the cause of all causes. He is a person and you are also a person. So if you take a drop of water from the ocean, it has the same quality as the whole ocean, salty, okay? But you cannot compare the drop of water from the ocean to the whole vast ocean. So the living entity, kayo, you have this tendency, all of us, we have tendency to, number one, to also have this tendency to imitate God. Okay? But because it's not our true transcendental position, when we come to this material world, what happens is that we try to dominate material nature, and the living entity by nature, you will be loving, you will be trying. Do you have the same quality as the Supreme Person in minute quantity? Maliit lang ba? Okay. But that transcendental potency of the living entity, as eternally the loving servant of God, should be in harmony with the pleasure of the Supreme Person. Kasi that is our true transcendental position, to give pleasure to the Supreme Person. Although the Supreme Person is self-sufficient, He wanted us to be in that transcendental world of experiencing harmony with His joy. So yun yung point doon. The reason you chant, all of us, we engage in this practice of Bhakti Yoga is to be connected with the transcendental world of God's pleasure. Okay? So, yung living entity, tayo, we're traveling in this world, this planet Earth, but we've been here for so long. Okay? From one body to another. So while you're traveling, for example, you're traveling in this vast desert. You've seen the Gobi Desert, this vast desert. When you look at it, okay, this vast desert, and then you're traveling, you're thirsty, there are no trees there, just sand, okay? And then you see the shore at the end of the desert, but you cannot cross it, okay? Because it's a vast ocean. Malaking dagat. Hindi ka naman pwede, you cannot, if you go back there, you'll die of thirst and the heat. And you see this vast ocean, but you cannot drink the water because it's salty. And you look around, you see a lot of sharks. And it's so vast, the waves are so high, nandun. But there's a giant boat there, and there's the person who's waiting for all those who are traveling in this desert. He's just there waiting. Okay. Just like the Lord within the heart, Paramatma, is always by your side. But the question is, can you hear Him? Are you able to meditate upon Him? So in ignorance, while you're here, it's very hard because we are so much drowned by the modes of material nature. Nalulunod tayo. Kaya hindi mo siya naririnig. Kasi lagi kang, parang yung nakakita kayo ng, I'll give you the example. For example, yung bangka, boat, ilagay mo sa washing machine, tapos i-spin mo. Di ba? O kaya, makakita kayo ng yung ginagawa nila doon, yung nakakita nyo yung ginagawa nila, what they do in some areas, they catch yung insect. Ano yung insect kinakain nila? Let's put na like scorpion. Kasi in some countries, they eat scorpion. Like in Vietnam, Burma, they fried scorpion and tarantula. You know what's tarantula? Those giant spider, they toast it. And then when it's toasted, they sell it, and then there's vinegar. Okay? But if, for example, the tarantula or the scorpion is there, and there's this, mock like that, big one, no? And then he's there, and then it's so hot, what will happen? So the fire is there. He cannot, that scorpion or the tarantula, yung spider, hindi man pwedeng relax lang, di ba? Talon ng talon yun kasi mainit So that's what happened to all of us when we are in this material world. In our search for happiness, fulfillment, and it's directed with the longing of trying to find stability and comfort and shelter in this material world in the wrong direction, that's what will happen to all of us. Because you will be driven by desires. And the desires are very powerful because the modes of passion is very powerful. Okay? If you're put in a body, it's arranged. If you put in a body of a male, katawan lalaki, at natural, there's attraction to the opposite sex. But it's all arranged by Lord Brahma for progeny. Alam yung progeny? Para magkaroon ng production. Hindi siya kagaya ng the creator, hindi siya kagaya ng kailangan pa mag-hire siya ng mga tao. Okay? Like Ford, okay, Mitsubishi, Ford, or Ford company that manufacture cars. You need a lot of people there, welder, everything, the computer programmer, and all those people there na para i-assemble yung kotse. Sa creation ni Lord Brahma, hindi ganon. Okay? Yung arrangement, man and yung nasa opposite sex, male and female, they see one another, they have this, they come in contact with one another. There's the attraction of the mode of passion. Then they marry, there's progeny. Tuloy-tuloy. The cycle of, hindi na kailangan ng factory. Okay? It's arranged by Lord Brahma. Even if you look closely at this giant mango tree here, okay? Or the banyan tree, okay? it's natural for it to have flowers, and that flowers is pollinated by the bees. No? And after that, it becomes a fruit. And inside that fruit, there's hundreds or thousands of little seeds. And when it falls to the ground, it grows. So you see, it's not, nobody, you cannot see who's behind it. And that process is done by Lord Brahma, the creator. Okay? So that's his role. He's the creator of this universe. So tayo, back to our point, is that what happened was, we're given an example here of a person who comes to the extreme point of trying to really want to be God. He's envious of God. And he wants to put down his foot and dominion, I am God. Okay? With his power. Ano yung consciousness ng someone who tries to imitate God? Nasa Bhagavad Gita yun demoniac consciousness. Look how much I have today. I'm very powerful. I'm surrounded by rich families and friends. Okay? I have so much wealth and I can enjoy. We will enjoy. Driven by passion. But that is not the role, eternal role of the living entity. Tayo, milyonaryong demonyong mini lang. Okay? You try to manipulate. And that separates us from this relationship that is amiable and pleasing to God. Kaya nga nung pumunta this guy, Praundraka, he came in front, he sent first his message to Lord Krishna. Okay? That the position na you're taking is my position. Okay? That's what we want here. And he sent this messenger. And Lord Krishna tells, okay, immediately Lord Krishna traveled and came to see him and cut his head. Okay. In a way, you look closely. We have the same tendency as Paundraka? Yes. Because we want to dominate material nature, this surrogate lordship, akala natin we're God. When we relate to one another, it's based upon material contamination, a perverted relationship. My son, my daughter, my wife, not seeing the spirit soul. And you want to control. Okay. That is the nature of this material world. We're influenced here by the modes of material nature and through the process of creation ni Lord Brahma, progeny, tuloy-tuloy, production. For all those living entities who will be traveling in this universe, in this earth, in this material world. So when after some time you come to the point na you've been traveling so long in this desert and you're not really experiencing in your heart, externally you may put a show na I'm okay, I'm wealthy, I have so much wealth, but deep within you, there's a nagging, pain in your heart, to the core of your heart, that even though you're surrounded by all of these amenities, when you're alone in the evening, you have this fear, you have this anxiety, and you don't have this satiation of the heart, and you're very fearful. That's why you just go to sleep and forget it. So that's the reason everybody wants to forget the problem that they're facing. Okay? But if we're fortunate enough to come in contact with this process, to relate to God, to have an amiable, like a relationship that is pleasing, especially the chanting of when you chant the holy names of God, you're communicating with Him. Okay? So when you're traveling in this material world, in this desert world, you come to the end of your tether. Wow, where can I go? And you're by the side of this giant, this vast ocean. And then you look around, there's this giant boat and they're waiting, inviting you to come. Okay? And you look, I can cross this ocean. Okay? But because material desire is very powerful, for so long we have been conditioned to be like Paundraka or the king of Kasi, envy of God. Envy ba? We want to imitate him. Kaya even in our daily dealings with our life, you can see how we are so much contaminated with this tendency to play God, to make believe that we are in control of somebody, an environment, a feeling of surrogate. Alin surrogate? You're trying to portray that you can be the perfect mother, the perfect father, the perfect friend with someone. But it's never satisfied because we are not self-sufficient. Very simple lang. But how come we try hard? Bakit natin pinipilit? If you look closely, look at everyone here, all of you here. What foundation do you have? What security do you have? Okay? The time, you see? Every day, the time ticks, tick, 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 tick. And then at the end of the day, if to whom the bells toll, alam niyo yun? Pangkampana, when that bell, clang, 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 clang. Oh, it's not Sunday. How come you can hear the bell? Okay? Because there's this funeral car there, okay? And the body is being brought inside, okay? And there's this someone giving something, ritual, bless, bless, bless. Then, tang, tang, tang. And everybody follows. Okay? The casket is put out. Yung kabaong ilalabas. Lahat nakatingin. Malungkot. Ano yung memories ng lahat? Ano memories if you love that person? Activities wherein you were together, enjoying everything. Okay? Your security, you remember, is gone. My happiness is gone. My security is gone. And then what you do? You follow the funeral procession. You're there. Reminiscing, thinking, what happened? I'm all alone. You experience that. Especially when my mama left in front of me, okay? But because fortunately, I was educated by my Gurudev, by Krsna, that the living entity will not perish. She will always be living eternally. So at the time she's leaving the body, I was assisting her chanting the holy names. And the holy names is a communication that gave her the security that when she left the body, she's aware and remembering the holy names. And it will be up to the Lord Krishna to take care of her. Okay? I'll tell you something, During my initiation, when I was I was fortunately given this mercy by my spiritual master. You know what he said to us? To all of us. Sabi niya, you're in front of the person whom you're supposed to relating as a representative of God, but you cannot see him. And we have been the sacrifice. Para nandito tayo ngayon, you're not able to see this place as a holy place. You come here, you talk nonsense, blah, 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 blah. Okay? You have no respect for the place. Instead of being in a place that will sanctify your heart, remember God, what do? You are there conditioned to open your mouth and what? Ano gagawin nyo? Okay? Garbage comes out of your mouth. Dead matter about your miserable life, about the miserable life of other people. Okay? And then this is a place where you can remember Krishna. A place where you can hear and chant, but you don't do that because the mind has been stolen by Maya. Okay? That's why the process of Bhakti Yoga is communicating with God. And the communication is about your love, your heart, and He protects you. So if you're making progress in your spiritual life, you'll always be protected. So when you're in a place of worship, like this place, you're able to appreciate the opportunity to remember God. But because you're desire-driven, you cannot control the tongue, and your heart is longing for this quench. And then there's so much frustration in your heart and so much misery that what comes out of your mouth is miserable experience and stories about this miserable world. You have to bring it out. It's like vomiting ba. Okay? And the people hearing. Okay? Understand? But you cannot see that. Huh? So Maya is very strong, very powerful. Don't ever think you're not under the control of Maya. And you think, I'm powerful, I'm gonna do what I want. No, you're already subjugated. You're enslaved, and you will experience birth, death, disease, and knowledge. And then, whatever consciousness you're engaging in, your consciousness will determine your future. Whatever state of mind, even now. And if you are engaging, if you did engage in so many simple activities, you're gonna experience it now. So don't ever think na, how come I'm in this situation? You blame God. How come others are very wealthy? How come everybody got so many material? How come they're not working and I am here like enslaved and I have to struggle for survival? It's your karma. Okay? But if you can see it positively, you can see, why am I here? Why am I suffering? Why am I struggling? So back to the point, the nature of the living entity in quality, we have the same quality as God. But we are not all powerful. So when you come to this world, you have this freedom. The freedom to make a choice, either to imitate God or to surrender to God in loving relationship. Yun ang gagawin lang nyo. Kaya lahat ng plano nyo sa buhay, kung matalino ka, before I was in this seminary, I was walking up in the mountain, I was praying, Krishna, please, I hope someday I will just be engaged in your loving service. So it's granted, okay? I was given the opportunity to take part in Lord Chaitanya's mission. So my point is this, at the time we were being initiated by our spiritual master, we have this fire sacrifice, but there is this experience in your heart that you want to be very close with God, with Krishna, with your Gurudev. But because you cannot see, you're blind, because Maya has been covering us for so long, na condition tayo. How is that? Our material desire. Our desire, we think, I'm a human being. I want to experience this love, this security. Look at history. You're all students, you're all teachers. Look at the history books. Where is Cleopatra? Okay? Where is Delilah and Samson? Look, okay? Look. Did anyone succeeded? No. It's the same repetition. Okay? In this cycle of misery. And then you come to this opportunity that Krishna comes, and you're there in the middle of this, because you're marginal, you're there, this vast ocean, this desert, and you're there, and there's somebody there while you're traveling in this miserable world. He tells you, hey, why don't you jump in this giant ship and we can cross over this ocean? Okay? That's the spiritual master. And the holy names. But you look around, okay? You're there, okay? But if you look closely, for so long, you've been very thirsty, you're empty-hearted, and you see this ocean, you'll be drowning. Okay? Because you're not all-powerful, you're not God. So when you're given this opportunity, you begin to appreciate how much you've been loved, how much Krishna cares for you. But you must be able to see that and appreciate that. It means you enter a different world, the world of Krishna, through the chanting of the holy names. Because the world you've been living previously is a world of a horrible, bizarre experience of birth, death, disease, and knowledge. And a frustrated, angry world where you deal with everybody who are lifeless, living but lifeless in this material dimension. Okay. So no way you can succeed to experience this ananda or happiness or samadhi, complete meditation, that you are transcendental to this material world and your happiness is connected simply doing and meditating how to please God. That's why you pray every day. Let me be an atom at your lotus feet. Okay? Because we are not self-sufficient. We are not God. We can only be protected when we are under the protection of God. And you cannot make believe, I'm protected. Hallelujah! Okay? Raise your hand. I'm a born again. So I'll be born again to this miserable world. No. You're not the born again. You're eternal spirit soul. And the reason you've been born again and a member of a born again is because of your focus and meditation. It's based upon material consideration. It's based upon selfish motivation to be saved. Why do you want to be saved? Because you want to do your own will and you know there are consequences. And what will happen? I want to be saved to continue again your miserable life. Okay? So, what we teach here is not joining or whatsoever. It is a clarity of your situation. Very clear. And you can see it with clarity when you are chanting the holy names. Because the holy names is not different from God, the supreme purifier. Who can purify us? God. And whatever is connected with God, the supreme person, purifies us. And the holy names is inseparable from Him. So when you chant the Maha Mantra, you experience this connection with this transcendental longing and an experience of clarity that your heart can be connected with Lord Krishna. And understand? You go to the place of worship. What do? You pray. You pray, but your prayer will be dependent upon your consciousness, upon your desire. But with this process, you just simply chant the holy names and you succeed because material desires becomes purified. And you're situated now in your true transcendental position as eternally the loving servant of God. So back to the point I like to discuss is that you can check. It's because spiritual life is always checking our life. Okay, what I'm doing, is it pleasing to God, or what I'm doing is just my desire? So if you focus upon your material desire, then you're cut off from that relationship. Okay. Is understood? If you focus upon your material desire, then immediately you will be directed there. So if it's based upon material consideration, you're thinking you're the body, my love, but how can you really protect that person? That person is there, and your love, up to what? How much can you really protect that person? No way. But God can protect that person. Not a blade of grass moves without the knowledge of God. Okay? So one time, when Jesus Christ was telling all His disciples, sabi niya, look at the lilies in the fields, how beautiful their flowers are. Look at the birds in the sky, the fowls in the sky, how the Father are taking care of them. What more of you who makes this decision to be very close to Krishna and you follow the process that is pleasing to Him? Then you're always in this transcendental world. That is, the transcendentalist, a transcendental person who experiences a transcendental experience every day. Because by the chanting of the holy name, you come to that point wherein you're able to see the truth and live the truth. Yun ang point. Yun ang practice na ginagawa nyo rito. Is it clear? It's understandable? So no way, if you ever try, it's like you try to bang your head. You know, pukpukin yung ulo mo ng ibang mo sa wall, you'll be the one to suffer. If you try hard and push hard to control material nature, instead of to be in harmony with your true transcendental nature as eternally the loving servant of God, then you'll experience what Paundraka experienced. But everybody's experiencing that. You try to make believe you're in control. At the time you're leaving the body, Krishna comes. At the time you leave the body, you see you're very fearful because death comes in. That's the representative of Krishna, death. Why not at the time you're leaving the body and while you're living here, the person who will fetch you is the representative of God, Krishna. Just like this person who went to this this association of devotees, this Brahmana, and then what he did, he focused his whole body in trying to worship Lord Krishna, Lord Narayan. Okay, he meditated, getting water from the Ganges with golden jars and everything, and then his whole focus is a relationship of complete surrender, connecting all his senses, his mind, everything to please God. Then what happened? Lord Narayan's just watching. Because Lord Krishna is just in your heart. He knows. You cannot fake it. You cannot make believe I'm a devotee. Okay? You cannot live a dual life. There's a saying, hindi ka pwedeng mamangka sa dalawang ilong. Okay? You cannot serve two masters at the same time. Kung ikaw yung master, So that's my point. So the point here, you can see that Lord Krishna is so merciful that He comes and then He teaches us, our Gurudev teaches us how to be in harmony with what is an experience of the word of life, happiness. Even you're here. So when you are in a place of worship, you can remember God. But if you are not there, then you have a problem. You're in darkness. Okay? Is it clear sa inyo? Kaya we don't appreciate. Kaya we are not respectful. Why are we not respectful when we're given this opportunity? Because we are not grateful. We're not able to see the care and love that is given to us, that connects what our heart, our life, with what we're longing. We're not appreciating. We're desire-driven. So, to be able to be a yogi means you are able to direct your life, to be able to purify the mind, the desire, and then you'll succeed. Because it's like the spiritual master is just passing by, and you're also traveling. And there's an opportunity that while you're traveling, you come in contact with the spiritual master, with Krishna. And then you're traveling. But if you don't follow his path, what will happen? There's this path going to a world of death, and this path wherein he patches you. Siya susundo sa inyo. And he's already patching us through the holy names. Not different from him. But if you make a decision to follow your own desire, then you'll experience who will patch you. And when you are being patched, you're experiencing this fear, anxiety, because your world will crumble in front of your face. And not only that, you'll be struggling very hard to get something that will not really protect you, to be able to think my daughter, my son, but what can you give that person if that person leaves? Okay? Do you really love that person? Or your love is just based upon what you want? You must not be in ignorant of what you can really. If you really love that person, you're able to make a stand to give that person protection. And what is that protection? God. The holy names. So she can make a stand to take shelter of God, not you. Okay? So that's why the spiritual master, he gives you all these teachings. He does not appoint anyone. Okay? There's no, what he does every day is give us this teaching through the Lord within the heart, scripture, so you can make that decision. Intindihan nyo? So this false lordship means you're so much in trying to enjoy your own world and you want to cling on to something that you think will make you happy. Kaya you're attached to this body, but you're not really concerned about that person. Intindihan nyo? Because you're a coward. You know? You're selfish. You don't really care about that person. And then you play around, you know? You dalawa kayo. There's a saying, there's two to tango, okay? Sayaw kayo, the dance of death. And that death experience when you die. And when that person begins to follow her desire. And you want the best for her, and then she goes and runs with another man. Okay? Intindihan nyo? How can you protect her? Because she has to make the right decision. You have to make the right decision. So, for example, in this world, like, you know, a lot of people, when they come in contact with the spiritual master, especially the children, like when I came in contact with my spiritual master, definitely my parents will they're all freak out. Okay? Alam yung freak out? Wow, what happened? We have our world. We want our son to become a pilot, to be a rich man. Okay? Dindihan nyo? Then I make a decision. I don't want all of that. And then they feel, my son, my daughter has been taken away from me. Okay? But they don't know that the son, the daughter, who if was able to be given the opportunity to chant, to become a devotee, can be your salvation at the time you're living. So the person who tries to play Lord at the time he's living, who will fetch you? Because time ticks, and then cruel death comes. You're taken away from your body. You have to experience the good and the bad karma. And you cannot do anything because you're not all-powerful. It's not you who decide. There are individuals who will decide where you will be. To be born, what body you will have. Because there's the law here in this material world. The law of karma. Understand? So if you really love this person, you're able to make a stand, to be very brave, to take shelter of Krishna. And if you are a mother, a father, you must be able to assist this person whom you love so much to be with wisdom. Because she should make a stand to please God. So whatever, halimbawa, di ba nyo napansin dito sa school? Makita nyo yung mga parents pag-uwi, yung mga bata, mga babae, Ma, I'm in love. Okay? I'm in love. Dili mo na, day. Kay waka pa nakauman. Mag-unsa na lang mo. Okay? Kaunsa pa mi, sige, kagod na lang buhiun mo. Magdugang ka ba dire? Okay? Naway trabaho. At kung nakakaanak, pagdugay, di ba maminaw? Okay? But you never made this effort because you just want to make believe I'm in control. The kid, yung bata nandyan. So, ito yung in ngayon. Give her cellphone, give her tab, ML, TikTok, everything. It's like you're trying to prostitute the kid, okay? Your daughter. And then she makes a decision, okay, not to follow you. You're not following me, okay? I want you to be a beauty queen, okay? Then what happened? She comes home, I'm pregnant. Okay? Why? Because the wisdom that is there while you're traveling with Krishna, you took another path, the world of darkness. Is it clear sa inyo? So if you want to be pleasing to Krishna, you make a stand to love Krishna. And then, when you're loving Krishna, you'll be following the second commandment of the Son of God. You'll be loving your daughter, your son, your father. Kasi mga parents natin, they came here, they want to be in control. Okay? Tindihan nyo? They never tignan nila na, uy, itong gawin mo, pag-aralin kita, maging sikat ka. Okay? O kaya, ikaw na lang ang pag-asa namin sa buhay. Anong buhay, Papa? Magkagut. Kay ultimo mangyuta. Pa-eskwelahon ta ka. Baligan nato ang kabaw. Tanan. Pero hindi mamakaya dahil hindi ka in control of your senses. Choy-choy, dob-dob, pagkatay, baka matukhang ka pa diya. Okay? So what happened, it turns a horror movie. Because you're the actor. Alam mo horror movie? You know a horror movie? When you're in material life, and you're there, you're the actor, but you think you're really the one, okay? But it's just a movie, but you think it's real. Okay? Like people watches this before, di ba? 3-dimensional o 5-dimensional silver screen. Alam niyo yan? Dati kasi wala pa yung mga tab, wala pa yan, wala pang people go to chatter. Alam niyo bakit? Kasi sa chatter, laki. At simula doon yung para ka nasa loob ba ng... Tapos pag there's this sound, pag there's this earthquake, tas meron pa kayong gagamitin na salamin para makita nyo habang nagka-crumble yung mga building at para kayo nasa loob. Ha? You become one with the falsity, with the illusion. You're there. Okay? Earthquake. Then after some time, bayang magiliw. Okay, tayo kayo lahat. Pero bago yon, mayroon na lang ipapalabas. Coming soon. Coming soon. Wish. Soon. Coming soon. Okay? Next Friday, na ako diri. Coming soon. Life after life after life after life. birth, death, disease, and old age, then birth, death, disease, and old age, another love, another broken heart, on and on and on. That is the material world. Is it clear? So when you understand this, then you begin to see, yes, I must make a decision to make this right decision, to do what is, learn what is wisdom, and be connected with my true transcendental nature. Because you are joyful by nature. The problem is everybody is trying to find security in what is not joyful. Okay? You love someone, love me, but she's not God. Yeah, she's not even the body. Okay? What we're gonna do is squeeze her? What will come out? Okay? Kaya nga sabi nila, ang cute mo. Ang cute ng baby. Okay? Pero paglaki, lahi naman yun, naman ni bangkil, nana ikugoy. Okay? Lahi na. Sa una talagang, pagtagal, iba na. Parang wolf na ba? Ha? This is the material world. Is it clear, Anya? So your world of trying to be paundraka will be cut off. Okay? You don't need to be, hindi na nyo kailangan maputol yung ulo nyo. You don't need to come in front of Krsna and say, I am God, I challenge you. Because you've been doing that for so long. Okay? And that is already there, connected with this body. The time, hindi na kailangan putulin yung ulo nyo. God comes as the death comes as the representative of God. Hindi na kailangan pumunta si Krishna ba. But, the holy names come and invite you to enter the world. A different world. Okay? The world of Vrindavan. Is it clear? So let's chant. Haribol, let's chant. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayati
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayati
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayana
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama
Namaste.